Hey Johnny, how are you? How's everybody doing? Welcome to my live. Johnny, can you hear me? Mr. Johnny Craig, can you hear me? Please like the video. Thank you for joining. Crypto will test your patience. This is the conversation we're having today. Crypto will test your patience. Are you ready? There are 5 of you watching. Please like the video. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Let's get into the conversation. All right. All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to my live. Thank you, Jesus. What a glorious afternoon. What a glorious day. It is 4 p.m. Central. Let's get into conversation. How many of you are looking at what's happening in the market and you're wondering what kind of craziness is this? Yeah, let's have a conversation. Who is coming on board? Who is talking to me? Hey, Johnny, I'm doing well. What time is it over in your country? By the way, thank you for being an OG on this platform. Always encouraging and always here to, like, if you're just joining, please like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video. So I'm talking today about the fact that crypto will test your patience. Crypto will test your patience. And I want to share some stuff to help you guys. Johnny, are you well too? I'm assuming you're a married dude, huh? And I'm hoping that your family is doing well. Not sure if you have kids or something like that. I just want to wish you and your family the best of the best of the best of the best, okay? There's 10 of you in the room. Please give me 10 likes. It's 3 minutes already. We don't have that many people, but I'm happy for those who are on board. Let's start having a conversation. Crypto will test your patience. How many of you agree with that? Crypto will test your patience, right? And I want to, there's a scripture that has helped me over the years in all my endeavors. I have come to see that patience is indeed a virtue. Okay, and I'm gonna read this scripture where it says we are to imitate those who through faith and patience obtain the promise. It's from Hebrews 6:12. It says that let me read from verse 11. It says, and we desire that each one of you show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope until the end, that you do not become sluggish, but that you imitate those who through faith and patience inherit the promise. So there is a need for us. Hey Almas, how you doing? God bless you. There is a need for us to employ the blessing of patience that God gives those who ask. Patience is essential in investing. Patience is essential in the ability to wait. You've got to have patience while waiting. There are many things in life where we have no choice but to wait. Let me give you an example. So you get to the gas station, there's like 5 cars ahead. For some reason, gas dropped 10 cents, and there's many cars running to go fill up their tanks because they're going to save. Some people even have an extra jerry can in the back of their trucks maybe it's cottage season, whatever, and they just want to load up on gas because there's a 10-cent discount on gas. That's how crazy it is, right? And you are the 7th person in line, and there's just 2 pumps working on either side. There's cars all over the place. This is where your patience is tested. Nobody is tested. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Nobody is tested until you are tested. Patience is a test, and you have to. Sean says it'll test your wallet too. Yes, it'll test you. And I want you, this is what I was saying yesterday about learning an area well. I walked into the house today and my wife said something to me about an hour ago. She said, she just said, wow, because I showed her a platform and I've been working with her and showing her and teaching her the platform. And, because we're here and there and there and here, and wisdom demands that we do one thing well. You see what I'm saying? And because I showed it to her, I showed her how she could be in there. I said, we were not patient with the platform. We were all over the place. I've known about this platform for over 2 years, but I was not patient. I wanted to go there and go here and go here and go there. Patience will, crypto will test your patience. This is why sometimes you have a crypto asset you've invested in, and somebody will say, oh, this one is about to move. Then you sell half of what you waited for with 1 year and put it into meanwhile, your tax meter is counting. As you are selling, your tax meter is counting. Hey, Matt Kunz, good to see you on here. Hallelujah. Matt, I'm not sure if you know, I have been talking about doing a session on a special class, private class for my Patreon members with respect to Proton system, so that everybody can get on, be your own bank, create your own little environment, issue your own credit card to yourself, pay for airline tickets in the crypto world, never going outside of the cryptoverse, with all those types of things. And I'm going to demonstrate that also. So I'm not sure if you ever were on one of those lives that I've been talking about this. I just haven't had the time. Remember, I do have a full-time sets of full-time sets of responsibilities. So Matt, I'm talking to you directly. I'm not sure if you're aware. And Johnny Craig, I've been talking about it. Almas, I've been talking about it. You said yes to it. Sean, I've been talking about it. I believe you said yes to it also. How can I what? Dorothy, what are you talking about? How can you talk to me about my course before I buy it? I asked you, I believe you are the same person. I said, send me an email, give me your number, I'll call you. I'll call you when I have time. I'm very busy, but I'll call you if you're interested. How can you talk to me about your course before you buy it? I don't do trading. If you're looking for people who trade every day looking at the screen, I don't do that. I'm sorry. I just do swing trade. That's the trade I do. And it's very simple. Swing trading is when it goes up, I sell a portion and then I wait. And when it comes down, I buy back in to increase my bag. I don't do it often because I have, but I am a long-term holder. And I specialize in helping people who are new to crypto take off and understand really what they're doing. So, all right. So if you're looking for somebody who does everyday trading, futures trading, I don't recommend it. I don't do it myself because if those who are in futures trading in crypto always get shellacked. Only very few people make it out alive. Why? Because they are watching what you do. They are watching you set your 7x's, your 10x's, your 20x's, and you are borrowing money to do something that you can easily get liquidated on. A lot of people got liquidated last year from their trading positions. And sometimes you set certain orders that will end up being canceled as well. So it's a very risky area to be in. I like to buy, hold, and I just, the other day I bought a crypto that went 300% in less than 3 months. You see what I'm saying? So those types of things. But I ended up not taking profit. Tommy, thank you so much. I appreciate that. God bless you. Then we go golfing. Tommy, $5 is not enough for a bag well, I could get a bucket of balls for $5 for the shooting range, but come on, Tommy, what are you doing? Thank you, I appreciate it. God bless you. May the Lord reward you 5 times, 10 times for that gift. I appreciate it. I'm kidding, right? Okay, so good to see you on here. But let's keep going on our conversation, guys. So I just read from a scripture. That is Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 11 to 12. That you do not become sluggish, but imitate those who through faith and patience inherit the promise. So there are 2 ingredients for us to break through in this arena. Faith and patience. Faith and patience. Very, very important. For Dorothy, if you wanted to contact me, send me an email. My email is in the description of my videos on YouTube, and just put your number there, and then tell me what the best time it is to call you. It's not my assistant that will call you. It's not my associate that will call you. I will call you myself, and I'll talk to you for about 15 minutes. You tell me what it is you want and what you're trying to learn, and you don't want your number out in public. You're not giving it to public. You're sending it to my private email. But you can also message me privately if you want. But you have to do that on my Patreon. I'm not going to. Yeah. Look, I'm not. I can't. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I'll do my best. But I'm just telling you how I operate. If you send your email, I'm not selling your number. I don't need anything from you. You're the one who's asking me to help you. I can help you. I've done it for a lot of people. So, and you know, it takes me time to call you, right? So it's 1 hour. 1 hour of my time is $250. But I'm offering you 15 minutes for free to hear what your problem is, what do you want, and I'll tell you which direction to go. You don't have to come back to me. You can go anywhere. I can even point you to somebody else that can help you. All right? But it's because you've been asking. That's why I want to pay attention to you and try to help you as best as I can. I want you to succeed. You know, I don't want anybody on my channel not to succeed. I beg you, man, I want you to succeed. All right. So, would love to be involved in this one also. When is the class? No, just if you are a subscriber and you're paying the if you're a paying subscriber on my Patreon, then you would get the link for a private class. You have to be paying the higher tiers. That's just how it works, because I'm going to put a lot of effort into it to help you guys. And you know, when people ask questions all the time, I have to answer all those questions. I'm putting myself on the line here. I'm telling you what I'm doing, right? So that you can also do it too. The people who pay $6 don't expect a monthly for my Patreon. That was actually a mistake at the beginning, but because a lot of people got on it, I don't want to cancel it. Some people are just comfortable paying $6. Okay, that's fine, or $5, something like that on Patreon. But you only get the articles and the public lives that I do, like this one. All right, if I post it to Patreon, you get it. But if you want something more, if you want to be able to talk to me once a month, then you get the Eagle class. If you just want to be able to call in for half an hour once a month, you get the $100 a month. That's just how it works. And there's other people who you know, yeah. But how can I send you a message privately? I don't want. Yeah, just use my email. My email is in there, or join my Patreon and then send a message on the Patreon. All right, and I will respond to you. But I won't continue to answer your questions and all that, just to establish a time. But if you want to talk to me, I'll give you 15 minutes free to discuss where you are, where you want to go, and all of that. I really would appreciate to meet you. Thank you for your kindness. All right, so back to what I was talking about, friends. Crypto will test your patience. Let me share a story with you that I find very fascinating. Please watch this. Let me share this with you. This is a story that is very fascinating, okay? So in the year, so I'll give you two examples, okay? The first one is this, okay? There's this famous story about a pseudonym, well, somebody who uses the name Shibtoshi, all right? He is the wallet holder of a certain address where he bought $8,000 worth of Shiba Inu in 2020, August 2020, shortly after the meme coin was launched. And he was able to get 70 to 104 trillion SHIB tokens, which was about 12 to 16 times, 16% of the entire token, hold on, sorry, what am I reading here? Yeah, so that's a massive portion of the supply. Let's just say 12%. By October 2021, during SHIB's massive bull run, okay, the holding peaked at an estimated 5 to 5.7 billion in value, turning the initial $8,000 into billionaire status, okay? Now, this investor remained anonymous. No public identity was ever revealed. They held for over a year initially without touching the stack, even as the value swung wildly. Some reports note even larger early whales. So one who accumulated 103 trillion SHIB for 13,700 in ETH in 2020, peaking at billions. There were other notable patient holders, like a trader who bought 48 billion SHIB for 2,625 in February of 2021. Then there's the real life story of someone, Rob, okay, a UK warehouse manager who invested 8,000 ish inspired by the Woof paper and became a millionaire, or New York brothers who turned thousands into millions. This is going to happen again, and I believe this year. Why? Because this thing is like a spring coil loading over the last little while, and it has not had the opportunity of exploding. We are watching crypto as a new a commodity, right? And people are getting frustrated because they've heard people like me on YouTube saying, "Oh, XRP is going to go to $1,000. XRP is going to go to $100," and they're buying at 50 cents. And they've heard other people say, "No, it's not going anywhere." I remember somebody close to my wife and I who said she was just about to drop her entire bag. She was about to sell her entire bag just before it went up to $3.46. And I'm like, what? You didn't even call us, because I was the one who got her into crypto in the first place. I remember her phoning me. I think her average price then was about 35 cents or 40 cents. I remember her phoning me and telling me, crypto, this was in 2023. She said, XRP is now at almost 90 cents. Remember when the court case was like, there was just stuff with Judge Torres, and the thing flew all the way from about 45 cents and it went to about almost 90 cents. I was in a meeting. I was attending no, it was a sport event in Edmonton, Canada. I was in the hotel, and I remember going down a few floors to work in the business center. That day I was alone. There was nobody in the business center. It was early in the morning, and she had messaged me to say, "Have I seen XRP price today?" Then she called. She said, Are you watching?" I said, "No, I'm not looking. I'm busy." She said, "I've been watching, and this thing is skyrocketing." In fact, a lot of people were excited. But at those times, if people had applied the 3 bag or 4 bag principle, some people would have taken profit at 90 cents. Sorry, I'm not sure if it got to 90 cents, but whatever. If your average price was 30 cents and you are sitting at, say, 80 cents, that's more than 2.5 times. You could have taken profit with your profit bag, and the first bag I call a swing bag, and then you just waited until it came back to about 45 cents and you bought back in. You just doubled your XRP holding. You just doubled your XLM holding, because XRP and XLM move in tandem, and then XDC has a delayed move. Friends, patience to learn is the next thing I will talk about. So patience to hold is the first, all right? You got to have patience to hold. Patience to hold. Patience to hold. I just shared Shiptoshi with you. Now, for some people, your patience will be more than 1 year. I know people who bought XRP at 6 cents. Do you think they were not happy when it got to $1? Well, you know what it means? 6 cents to $1 is more than what times? How many times is that? That's more than 12, 13 times. And people bought $5,000 worth. 5,000 multiplied by what? 10 times, 13 times, and they were able to take some profit. I know people who are in that boat. But there are people who bought today. I know somebody who just bought XRP 2 months ago, and it's been asking me, why is it going up and down? And I remember telling them, this is a volatile market. But the thing is, you already have a lot of money. You're already a millionaire. Why are you worried about this few thousands that you put into this thing? It shouldn't bother you. Please give me likes up to 20 so that the algorithm can pick up this video. Good evening, Joseph Jacob. How you doing? All right. So the patience to hold is very important. If you are new to crypto, that is the first thing you have to learn. But for new people, you have to learn what is best to invest in. You have to learn how to do an audit of a crypto. When I say audit, just a basic set of questions that you want to ask. What is this crypto for? Who is behind this crypto? Is it a meme coin? Is it a utility coin? Is it an AI coin? Is it what is it? What are the future prospects? What is the supply? What is the all of these questions? Is there a maximum supply? Are they likely going to mint coin? Is it pre-mined, or is it mine? Is there mining continuing like in Bitcoin, and so on and so forth? These are questions that new crypto people and people who have been buying crypto who don't know this have to learn. So the patience to hold is the first first thing. The patience to learn is the second thing. I've told you before that there are 5 levels of crypto education, in my honest opinion. Number 1, and I am allowed to think. I am a thinker. God gave me the mind of Christ to be able to think, all right? To be able to ascertain, to be able to observe, to be able to take hindsight, present sight, foresight, farsight, and create models. I can do that for myself and my family. And hopefully, as I share the models that I've created, you would learn from them. I'm not an expert, but I know by the grace of God how to pull myself up out of certain situations. Sometimes it is experience, right? Laced with grace. Now, listen to this. Patience to learn. The 5 knowledge areas for crypto. The first level is knowing what crypto is, knowing what to buy, buying it, securely storing it. That's what my first book on crypto is about. Yes, that's the first level. And a lot of people have not passed that first level. The second level, I would say, is knowing how to use the crypto to make money while you are waiting for it to get to a high value. Let's assume you bought a crypto at 10 cents. And there's a promise that it'll get to $5. You know, from 10 cents to $5 might take 4 years. It might take 10 years. Well, what would you do with it when it's $2? Because now, if you bought 100,000 units at 10 cents, that's $10,000. When it gets to $2, it's already what? 200,000. It can happen. I've seen it happen in my own life. I'm a small crypto holder like most people. I'm not a big one of those whales. But the reality is how it can change your life from 10 grand to 100,000 to 200,000. Well, how do you now earn income on the 200? If you can find somewhere to put your 200,000 or 50,000 out of that 200 to earn 9% a year, 9% will give you what? On 50,000 will give you 4,500. That's about $300 every month. Well, that's gas money. Well, that's somebody's grocery bill. That's somebody's a payment. You could use it actually to pay for something else. You could use it to pay for a vacation. You could use it to pay for a couch. $300 a month into furniture in the house. You could pay for $20,000 worth of an upgrade in your house. Paying $300 a month for the next 5 years would give you 15,000. That's close to 20,000. You see what I'm saying? You can do that, and you can do all of that within DeFi. So you have to learn DeFi. Patience to learn how the crypto ecosystem works. For example, if you have Solana, do you know that Solana has their own phone? Do you know that Solana has an ecosystem that can set you up for life? Do you know that Solana could likely go to 3,000, 3,800, 4,000, 5,000 in the future? Do you know that Solana is going to be in the national stockpile, crypto stockpile of the United States? All those things are necessary pieces of knowledge for you to have as the patience to learn. Nobody goes to school to learn dentistry and gets off after the second year and say, I'm now a dentist. You need at least a minimum of 5 years before you go into, I think 3 to 5 years, then you go into clinical. Some people stay for 7 to 8 years before they get their medical degree. Why? Because you're dealing with lives. I want you to understand that people think, I'm going to pay this much money for my education, but when it comes to crypto, I don't need education in it. My friend told me if I buy XRP, I will be a millionaire. So you buy 300 XRP and you're expecting that to make you a millionaire. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. Yes, I agree that 300 XRP can become very valuable in the future, but I don't want you to be hoping and hoping and hoping, because hope is not a strategy. Hope is important, but you must have a strategy upon which the hope is built. You must have a foundation. No house that is built without a foundation can stand. The foundation must be solid. Even the Bible teaches us that. Jesus said, if you build a house and on a sand foundation, what happens? You have to have the house sand sound. All right, you have to have the house on the rock. Building it on the rock when the winds come, because the winds will come. He didn't say if. He said when it comes, it'll come. It'll come. All right. So you need patience to hold. That's number 1. You need patience to learn. Then number 3, you need patience to engage community. You need patience to engage community. Community. Why? Because in community, that's where life is lived. Do you know that this is a community? You can become a member of my channel on YouTube. You can become a member of my Patreon. I know people think, oh man, it's all about money here and there. Well, here's the reality. People spend hours and time researching and finding information so that they can share it with other people. Some of it is shared for free, others is shared so that people, because sometimes in life I've come to realize when people pay and engage for with community for certain things, guess what happens? They learn from the wider community. You know, when you post here, when you pray for somebody on here, God hears. When you post certain things you've learned on here, everybody shares in it. But if you say, oh, I want your time for 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, oh, that's going to take me away from I have to create that portion of time for you. Why do we ask plumbers to come to our house to do a job and it's okay to give them $159.99? Well, because they are plumbers and they know what they do. Patience to engage community. Life is lived in community, and there are crypto communities all over the place. That you've got to find a community that is fitting for you, but you must have patience with the community. Why? Some people are loudmouths in a community. Some people need to be blocked in a community. Some people will say things you don't like in a community, but you need to understand that you have to have patience in a community. If you're a Christian, if you're a believer, you have to have patience, okay, with the prophecies. Patience with the prophecies. Why? Because I want you to understand that the prophecies and the prophets will be vindicated. I give you an example. There are certain prophetic words that have come to pass. Did you remember when somebody was prophesying and saying that Bitcoin was going to drop to 70,000 and 60 something thousand? It's happening right now before our very eyes. Well, if that happens, that also tells me that the prophecies of XRP hitting $1,000 will also happen. That's why we need to be patient. If I were you, I would say this is an opportunity. When things are down, it is an opportunity for me. So you need patience with prophecies. Patience with prophecies. The other thing I'm going to say is that number 5, you need patience with the valley. Patience with the valley. Patience with the valley. What is the valley like? You see, when prices are down, everybody is not happy, including the people who already have millions. Nobody's happy. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Nobody's excited. I don't wake up and see XRP at $1.35 and I'm like, oh my God, what an opportunity. It's an opportunity, but I wish it was $3. I wish it was $9. I want it to go up also. But I want you to understand that you need patience in the valley. You need patience with the valley. You need patience around the valley conditions. I want you to understand that scripture teaches us that every human being, in Isaiah, we are told there are 4 environments of experience. Experience number 1, crooked path. Experience number, not in order. Experience number 2, uneven ground. Experience number 3, mountains. Experience number 4, valleys. The mountain seems to be, like, am I on the mountaintop? No, that's a different kind of experience. But there are sometimes mountains, Goliath-like mountains are right in front of you. There are times when valley-like situations, you are down deep there, how do you climb out? And there are other times when it's uneven ground. But the Lord promises us that whether it's a crooked path, He will straighten it, and on even ground, He will make plain, valleys will be filled, and what mountains will be level. And that's why we need patience, because those mountains you see right now will come to pass, and they will be history, they will be a story, they will be a part of your resume in life. Those valleys you see, they'll be a part of your lesson. You know, when I look back, I see what has happened in the past. You know, when I teach, when I share, I use the things that people know. If you tell me, if you are in a coaching session with me and I ask you what you do for a living, you say, I'm a carpenter. I'm going to use your trade to teach you crypto. This is what the Lord has blessed me with. I've succeeded several times. I've not found one trade. I've not found one profession. I've not found one thing that I've not been able to apply to the crypto verse. Why? Because it's reality in virtual sense. You don't see crypto just as you don't see email, but we trust and believe emails. You can send a quote to somebody as a contractor in an email, and they trust you. They send you back their counter offer, and then you say, no, this is what I will take for my job. Then you sign off. Once you sign off, they can send you a payment that you don't see. No checks. They can send you a signed check online through DocuSign, whatever. And it's all valid. It's all accepted. E-signatures, everything. The world has gone E. Crypto is E. Email, e-money. That's exactly what it is. I've told you over and over. If you understand email, you can understand crypto. Crypto is as simple as email. The difference is it is cryptography, which is different and how email is built. And it's all based on cloud technology, because it's like your email in the cloud. You know, when people say cloud, they think of the cloud up there, but it's just all the information is on a server. In the same way, your blockchain serves as a server. But I'm only saying that for us to understand. The cryptographers will say, "What are you talking about? That's not a technical way to talk." We don't need technicalities all the time. We need to break things down for people to understand. Blockchain is like a server, it's like a highway. And what does it have on it? It has several addresses. My address is on XRP Ledger. Your address is on XLM and all of that stuff. Okay. But each of these respective blockchains are like a super highway, and there are houses on it. There are hotels on it. Those houses are like wallets. Okay. Connected to the blockchain. Some of them are multi-tenanted houses, like MetaMask. MetaMask is a multi-tenanted house. That's why it's called a multi-chain wallet. Do you see that? Trust Wallet is a multi-chain wallet. You go on there and you see all the networks. You see Arbitrum. You see Polygon. You will see you know, Polygon. Did I say Polygon? You will see all of them, right? You will see the XRP ledger. In some, they call it XRPL, others call it Ripple. You will see it called Ripple in Tangem. Tangem is a multi-chain wallet. There are cold multi-chains and there are hot multi-chains. Hot wallets sit on your on your phone, on your device, and then cold wallets are not connected to the internet. They are air-gapped in most cases. Some are at a higher level of air-gapped than the others. All of this I'm saying to say we want to break it down so that people understand. All right, let's keep going. So I've talked about patience to hold. I've talked about patience to learn. I've talked about patience to engage community. Let me go back to number 2, patience to learn, and just say the patience to learn is one of the things that a lot of us do not have. I didn't have the patience to learn, but I realized that jumping around is going to cost me. But when I applied my heart to patience to learn, what happened? I learned one thing. I learned that I can do something like, you see, Paul said, "This one thing I do." By staying within a certain ecosystem, learning it very well, I learned that I could have a one-stop shop in crypto while I have other backups in case I needed them. So patience to learn is so key. Okay, so we've talked about patience with the valley. Now I want to talk about patience in another way that you maybe did not think I would say, and that is patience on top of the mountain. Patience on top of the mountain. This is a different type and is the only one I will talk about after talking about 5. I talked about 6 patience. I said today we're talking about crypto testing your patience. The patience on top of the mountain is number 6. This is not the patience that goes through the mountain. This is not the patience that breaks down a mountain and overcomes the mountain. This is the patience of the euphoria of being on top of a mountain. Do you know what a mountaintop experience is? In Matthew chapter 17, Jesus Christ and the 2 disciples, Peter, James, and John, were up on the mountain. And there was a transfiguration experience, and they saw Moses and Elijah appear. And Peter said, "Oh my, this is such a wonderful experience. I've never had anything like this. The peace, the joy, the serenity, it's so explosive. Can we just build booths and remain here?" Now listen. Mountaintop experiences exist, but they're not permanent. The mountaintop experience is for the valleys of life. The mountaintop experience is for the crooked paths of life. The mountaintop experience is for you to be able to come down and deal with the vicissitudes of life. Let me give you an example. In that Matthew 17, when Jesus Christ was on the mountain with those 2, there was a problem. Peter wanted them to stay there. Then the voice came from him and said, "This is my beloved son, hear him." So they went back down, and when they got down, they met a man with his son who was often thrown into the fire and into the water because the demonic entity was looking to kill that young man, that child, who had an epileptic seizure from time to time. And it was cyclical. So if they had stayed up there, they would not have been able to come down to address the problem that was on the level ground. There was a man whose son was going through valleys. His son was going through uneven ground. His son was being dealt with a crooked hand by the enemy. And Jesus came with the disciples from up there, the 3 of them, and The others could not have, they couldn't heal the boy. The man said, I brought my child to your disciple, they couldn't heal him. And just his old faithless generation, bring the child here. And from that moment, he cast out the devil, and that kid was healed. Let me tell you what I'm saying here, friends. You need patience for the mountaintop experiences. What does that mean? Let me give you an example. So you have invested in crypto. Suddenly you have such an explosion. Whoa, and you never thought you'd have $1 million sitting in your crypto account. You're looking at your wallet and your eyes are tearing up. You're like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine. The next thing you hear a whisper in your ear, you can basically buy anything you want. I remember a comedian. He said, I had so much money, I couldn't believe it. I've never had so much money in my life. He signed a contract, and the first check, he couldn't believe it. Second check, couldn't believe it. The bonus, couldn't believe it. And he had such a huge amount of savings in cash. What did he do? He went out to one of the, I think it was Old Navy or so, and he bought and bought. He said he bought 20 pairs of jeans just because he could. Then he went to another store and bought a large number of t-shirts just because he could. And then he realized he was being foolish. This is not the way to live. What do I want 20 jeans for? This is where patience comes in, because there are visions. There are things that you have in your heart that you wanted to do. There are things that I believe God has planted in your heart. If you do not have patience on the mountaintop, you will build booths on the mountaintop to maintain that experience and forget that the mountaintop is for you to be able to be active on the level ground, on the plain ground. My prayer is that we will have patience enough. Somebody asked a question one day, oh, if XRP gets to such and such a price, what will you be buying first? You know my answer? I said nothing. Actually, I said nothing really serious or big, but this is what I would do. I will buy ice cream. I will go to Dairy Queen. If it's summer, I will sit outside. I will buy ice cream. I'll take 3 scoops. Now, a scoop is usually what I take. I'll take 3 scoops for the fun of it. And I'll sit down there and just go through the scoops and come back home and sleep as if nothing happened. I said I have been conditioning myself that way. And I want you to think about the possibility. I'm not asking you to do what I do, but I'm saying, why don't you think about it? Because listen, if we don't have patience on the mountaintop, we are going to find ourselves really running in different directions, because now we have, and let me tell you something, wealth does not hide. You may hide it as much as you can, but that's good if you're able to do that. But it will, people, I remember we moved from one neighborhood to the other. The previous neighborhood we had lived in years ago, about almost 20 years ago, we never got the kind of things we got in the mail when we moved to this other neighborhood. In this neighborhood, I found out we were being invited to wine tasting events. They were inviting us to restaurant openings, exclusive restaurants. I didn't even know what they were. One day, my daughter gave us a gift card, and we went to this particular restaurant, and I've never been to it. I said she didn't need to bother, but she said no, she wanted to bless us. So we went to this restaurant, and they didn't give us a whole plate of food. They just kept bringing one thing after the other. You taste it, the meat that is half boiled, half cooked, you taste it. Then they bring something else, you taste it. Then they bring something else, you taste it. And that's all that they did. And I said, what is all this? And then they brought a little bit of what's that thing? Cilantro, and they put it on a white plate, and they put something on the other side. It was a place where you tasted different portions of a special meal, and then you get a creme brulee, creme brulee or something like that. I'm saying there's Italian, there's French, there's this, there's that. It's exclusive. They open only from supper time to about 11, and then there's all kinds of wines you can have. I'm like, whoa, my God. I didn't even know it existed in the city. But here we were that night, my wife and I. But the point I want to make is this. You know what? There's things we don't know that will suddenly come to us. I would get things in the mail. I said, oh, I never got this when I was living in that other part of town. Suddenly I'm living here and I'm getting all these things. Then I realize what they do is that they check certain things. They check certain data. And I didn't even qualify in some of that data. But the reason why was that God had just placed me here, or in a season of time that I was not expecting. The point I want to make again with it is that we must learn patience in any situation, in the mountaintop, on the mountaintop, because the mountaintop experiences, the euphoria doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever. If I put a lot of money in your account right now, you get excited, but the excitement will not continue. There are things that are more important than the euphoria. You got to come down from the mountain and meet the problems on the earth. Hopefully, you become a problem solver. in Jesus' name. All right, let's see the comments. Hey, Pastor Andre Carter, I didn't forget you. Thank you so much. I thought about you today. I'm coming back to you. Eddie Benedio, God bless you. How you doing? Dorothy says, I'm unable to find your email. It's in my description. If you go into the description, are you conversant with? I'm gonna put the email on here for you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the email. Um, oh my Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Let's see. Is WebAuth a multi-chain wallet? Yes, in a certain way, it is a multi-chain wallet, but it's more than that because it actually does your wraps for you. It wraps all your cryptos. For example, it holds Solana, Bitcoin, ADA, Cardano, USDT, USDC, but all of them are prefixed with an X. So your Solana will become an X Sol. Your USDT will become XUSDT. Your USDC will become XUSDC. Your ADA will become XADA. Solana, X Sol, on and on and on and on and on like that. They have their own DEX as well. Very powerful tool. You can use it. You can set buy limit orders on the DEX. You can do a lot of stuff in there. You can create your own credit system in there. It's beautiful. Okay, so that's that, and you can stake. You can earn up to 7-9%. Like there's so much opportunity in there. I have learned that if you learn one thing very, very well, many of you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to put 10 here, 20 there. No, 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 no. But you have enough to say, look, you can take your 5 grand that you have, your 10,000 that you have, your 20,000 that you have. See, there are more people that have 10,000 than people that have $1,000,000. But how can we take that 10,000 and make it 500,000? How can we take that 10,000 and make it serve us? That's what we're about. Is the parable of talents a parallel to wealth transfer and what we will do with that talent? Hey, Kryptonite, how you doing? God bless you. Does that sound like a plan? So that's my email. I just put it in there for you. Any other thoughts before we go tonight or today, this afternoon? So the email is aircrew.agility5p@icloud.com. It looks like a scam, but it's not a scam email. So aircrew.agility5p@icloud.com. That's me. So Dorothy, I'm giving you that. So is web malicious? Any other question? So the parable of talents is applicable in so many areas of life, not just wealth transfer. But I believe that most people talk about wealth transfer, but people are not talking about wealth creation. That's another subject I want to talk about. Wealth creation. Wealth creation. You see, the wealth transfer will come in tranches. And we're going to see the 2 tranches this year. And I believe that if you are holding cryptos and you suddenly find that you have a 20x on your hands, you should take profit. You should take profit. Once you see that, you should take profit. Very, very key, very, very important. Because if you do not take profit, you are going to be looking at it go all the way down, and you're going to be saying, hey, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Right? So you have to take profit. Thank you, Kryptonite. Yeah. April 9 to April 12th. VIP one-on-one conference 9.0. If you'd like to join us in Houston, in Conroe, Texas, please send us an email to my email right there, and I will send you all of the information that you need. You can also send to the kryptonite1906@gmail.com. The kryptonite. Kryptonite, put the email on there, please. And you can always send that. We are coming together again for a 4-day period of crypto immersion. Can you imagine Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then Sunday 9 a.m. I would say to about noon thereabouts, but the most important thing, or 3 p.m., the most important thing is that we are going to be immersing ourselves in crypto knowledge, crypto education. Even if you are new to crypto, you can come. As long as you know how to use a computer, there's so many advantages of being in a room like that with people and learning how to secure your crypto, how to grow your crypto, and also spiritual assistance. We pray for one another. We anoint ourselves as we come back into the battlefield. I'm telling you, it's been an amazing experience for me each time. So April 9th to April 12th, VIP one-on-one conference in Conroe, Texas. Send me an email or send to the kryptonite1906 at gmail.com, and the Lord will bless you as you do so. Okay, so we've been talking about patience in the last little while. Crypto will test your patience. I'm going to go over it once again before we round off this afternoon. I said that the first thing that your patience will be tested, right? The first thing you have to have is the patience to hold. And I pray for you today that you will actually have that patience. I gave you an example of a gentleman who bought into Shiba Inu and he was patient. When it went up and down, he was patient. When people were like, oh, you're stupid, look at what you're doing, he was patient. There are many, many stories like that. I saw some people on X celebrating some difficulties that Coinbase was having. Now, again, I'm not the biggest fan of certain central exchanges, but I want them to succeed and I want them to do right by their customers. This is because people are selling and jumping out of crypto. That's exactly the same play. This has not changed. There is always a shaking of the tree, and those who are not solid will fall out. And they will start saying, yes, I thank God I got off that nonsense called crypto. And then later on, they'll say, oh my God, I wish I had stayed on. There's a lot of people who have those regrets, right? So, Eddie Benedio, all right, God bless you. Where are you based, Eddie? So, okay, so that's the first one, patience to hold. The patience to hold. I pray that you will have that in Jesus' name. All right, the second one is the patience to learn. Patience to learn. I told you there are 5 levels of crypto education. The first one is just knowing what to buy, knowing what to invest in, knowing what cryptocurrency is, why they have been created, why they are made, and all of that, and being able to understand them with everything, like just with the things we know, using what we know to understand crypto. And the second thing is DeFi. All right. And then I didn't talk about the 3 other ones, not necessary. I've talked about it several times, but most people are not even past number 1. Some people still don't know how to send their crypto from one to the other. They forgot. And this is what is going to have many people lose a lot of money. I'm telling you, there are people who, you know, have lost money just because they sent it to the wrong address or to the wrong chain. The wrong and that it, you know, and if the chains don't have a bridge, you're done. Your asset is gone. All right, Eddie, that's good. God bless you. I hope you guys are doing okay there. So that's it. Let's keep going. And I talked number 3 about patience to engage community. Sometimes it's hard to be in a community. Some of us don't want to be out there. We don't want even, you know, we want to be on YouTube and not even make any comment. But I must say this to you. Being in community requires patience. Being on here requires patience. People are going to come and insult. Look at you, you're a pastor, you're trying to make money off people. You're a prosperity preacher, all that and the other. But the truth of the matter is, God sent me here. I knew that He called me the same way He called me to do other things. But I never expected that this is what He will do. You see the interesting thing about life? The things you think you won't do may be what God is calling you to do. So I've done that, and I'm very thankful for the last 1 year plus. It's been an amazing journey. All right. So the third one is patience with prophecies. The prophets will be vindicated. Kryptonite was telling me the other day that we are going to be the proof. The proof. The proof. Not just talking about it, but the proof. All right. Patience with prophecies. It's going to come to pass. Pray about the prophecies. Test them. The Bible says we should test prophecies. Test them. Ask the Lord, is this person saying this? Is it true or false? And then number 5, the patience to stay in the valley. Patience with the valley situations and conditions, because no valley situation lasts forever. There are emotional valleys, there are relational valleys, there are financial valleys, there are all kinds of valleys, but no valley lasts forever. And then number 6 is patience on top of the mountain. This is a different kind of patience that I'm talking about. Is the patience to manage your emotions in a state of euphoria. Is to manage your emotions in a stage where things are going exactly how you imagine they would be. Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, I never imagined I would have this much wealth to in my hands. Look at all my wallets; they're all green. Man, I took profit. It's in USDC. I took profit. It's in RLUSD. I took profit. It's in PYUSD, USDP. Man, I never imagined that this would be me. Okay, well, listen. Your stable coin is now earning 9%. You couldn't imagine that it would do that. You could borrow off of your stable coin to do things. Your life has completely changed. Euphoria does not last forever. Reality will soon hit. And I gave you the example of Christ and the disciples, three disciples, Peter, James, and John, on the Mount of Transfiguration. They had to come down, and there was a demon at the foot of the mountain in a little kid. Friends, there are other ways that demons are manifesting themselves. In some communities, it's this illness, there's sickness. You may be the one to bring in the equipment they need to test their health in order for them to have access to medication. You may be the one who creates a pharmaceutical link where people can go and get discounted medication. God can give you all kinds of ideas. Listen, the times we're entering into, there will be a lot, right? And so you'd really, really, really be, yes, exactly, Crypto. And I thank you for that. Created my crypto tax summary the past few days, and it was quite the event. Definitely challenged my patience. You have to commit. There's just so much. Hey, Top Ring, how you doing? How's Germany? Good to see you on here. God bless you. But we've been talking about patience, and I'm just summarizing everything I've talked about. I've been here for the last hour or so, and I wanted to make sure that, I ring it in as I close. So don't forget, my friends, the I've told you about 6 kinds of patience you should have, but the last one, number 6, is the patience in the season of euphoria, in the season of when things are now going well, like you imagined and expected that they would come, because you held on, because you believed, because you didn't sell everything and walk away. You held on, and today you look back and say, wow, you dollar cost average. You did what you were supposed to do. You took education, you learned, you paid for coaching, you did whatever you needed to do. You oiled your off ramps, you opened off, different, bridges to be able to get off of, the cryptoverse. You were able to plan very well to move some profits into real world assets. You bought yourself a nice boat and a nice fishing rod. Things are looking up. Well, guess what? That is the time where you need patience the most, because certain things will come to you. You need patience to sit down quietly in a dark room and meditate and say, Lord, is this where you want me to go? Because just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. What is good is not always God, but what is God is always God. This is why you have to have a discernment. In fact, your greatest assignment at this point, in my opinion, our greatest assignment is to learn the voice of the Father. Because when we learn that voice, in times when we have power, because financial resources will give you power. But if you do not know that voice very well for yourself, even when it's correcting you and saying, yes, you have all the resources, but don't put it there, put it here, you may not hear, because it is within your power to do. You can do whatever you want. Just like Peter told Ananias and Sapphira, is within your power to do. You must not buy out of pride. You must not want to show people that I can do all this. You must be humble. In fact, you are called unto a greater degree of humility as this begins to open up in reality for every one of us. So I say God bless you. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget, if you would like to join me in Texas, myself and Kryptonite, April 9 to April 12th, VIP one-on-one conference 9.0, send an email. The email is right there in the my description, and you can write to me at aircrew.agility5p@icloud.com. You can also write to the kryptonite 1906@gmail.com. We'll be glad to receive you, to welcome you. And if you're an alumni, you want to come back, let's know also. Send us a message. I will confirm your seat. We'll confirm your space. Thank you so much, Tommy. Tommy, thank you for the gift you send. I'm going to buy my donut, and you are my donut guy and coffee guy. I appreciate that so much. But God bless you all. Trokum Dunbar, good to see you. I don't know if you are aware, but you can follow me all on Patreon. I put my link on there earlier. So make sure that you follow me on Patreon and select one of the top tiers, and let us work together and learn all that we need to as we learn and grow in this space. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will, you know what, let me give a few minutes to see if there are any comments. Thank you for thanking me. Any comments so far? And if you're looking to do your tax, you could use Koinly to scour your accounts. Koinly, Koinly. It's acceptable in so many countries. And if you're Canadian on here, the CRA also accepts Koinly. I'm just going to be setting up my own account. Thank you, Chris. I hope you were blessed. All right, this has been a good live. Thank you so much, everybody. Like the live, give us more likes to get us to 22. There's 19 of you, and that's almost the number of people in the room. So why don't you just add a few more likes and get it to where it's got to be? Space Janelle Even. Space Janelle Even. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you, Chris. Always, 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 always. Yes. If you join the Patreon, you can send a message there and we can tackle things from there. Some of you already have set up your appointments. That's very good. So we're thankful to God for that. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I will talk to you in the next one and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.